children are born with natural curiosity, ability to grasp, process, and apply it. Unlearning is the best way to learn.
Hello and welcome to new podcast series Awakening with Atmanandaji. Siddhaguru Atmanandaji is an enlightened master who has worked extensively in the area of neurocognitive enhancements. He has helped many students experience stress-free learning. He has mentored many students to design a happy, healthy, progressive and a successful life. Namaste Guruji, welcome. Guruji, as today's podcast is all about students, I would like to start with three main words which every student connects with, but it also brings in a lot of ambiguity. One, success. Second, capability. Third, competency. Now, why do I say it brings ambiguity? Whenever we talk about success or successful people, we always use these terms, they are very capable. They are very competent. But for a student, it is always full of ambiguity because they are not able to figure it out what it means to be capable. What constitutes being capable? And what does it constitute to being called as competent? So we would like you to help us understand this better.
That's a good thing. Nice opening. But I want you to understand one thing. There is something called as theory of probability. So if 100 people throw some dart at the bullseye, at least 2 will hit the bullseye. It doesn't mean that they are experts. It can happen in the same fashion. Now, in this world where everybody is trying for success, competency and capability, some people hit the mark, a bullseye, and they experience success, competence and capability, and the rest of the people find them as successful people, competent and others. Like a gym going person, having a good diet is very important. It's not enough if you go to a gym. It's also very important that you practice a specific diet regimen. In the same fashion, for every student, the fundamental thing is the same. Their ability to grasp, process and apply it. So that's what we call as cognition. Human capability to observe something, grasp it, process it and then apply it is what cognition is all about. Now this cognition, human cognition, has to be continuously exercised. Now when you are studying as a student, you are like in the gym. When you are born, you have curiosity and you want to know about a lot of things. Most children ask many questions and all, 99%. So you have this natural curiosity. Now you generally execute it now in your daily life also you lift some weights, but in the gym also you lift weights. But there you lift it in a specific way so that it builds muscle. Daily wage laborers who lift weights all through the day, they don't build muscle, but they build strong muscles. In the same fashion, students, children are born with natural curiosity. Now this natural curiosity is structured, tailored through an education system. Now here you want scalability. Now you want to show that muscle of competence, or else everybody has competence. Now you are developing a structured competence, capability and a specified structured success where see you gain IIT seat, you IIM seat or some other Ivy League, then you are successful. You are a successful student. Now I have secured an IIM seat. Immediately I am branded as a successful student. I have landed up in a McKinsey or some big company, something. I am successfully branded, structured. People who don't join McKinsey also are successful. In the same fashion, now education is giving you a structured gym environment kind of your competency, structured competency building mechanism. Diet regimen, like a gym, is competency enhancement. You need to work on that. If you go to the gym on a daily basis and lift weights and don't follow a specific diet regimen, you probably would not develop the kind of muscles that you can. In the same fashion, students are chasing this success, competency, and capability, and they want a structured competency to develop within them so that they have a structured career. For that, continuous cognition enhancement protocols, methods, and mechanisms are very important. See, a general, any profession you see, surgeon, doctors, engineers, you learn something for 24 years and then you go and practice one small bit of what you have learned every day consistently all through your life. A ENT doctor will take care of ENT patients only. He is not talking about gastroenterology. An engineer is talking about a specific field of software engineer. They will never talk about anything civil engineering. So, if you understand, executing one small part of what I know consistently is career. But education is every day minimum 6 subjects I have to learn new that I don't know, that I have to process, that I have to internalize, grasp and understand, and finally apply it also, and all the rest other things. So this is more complex because that is the reason why they asked us to study in the early age, because early mind has all this capability. As you grow up, your mind loses this capability because you are only consistent with what you know. So students who are learning for the first 25 years, they have to understand that the success, competency and capability is not something they are searching for that 25 years. They are also searching for the next 75 years, expecting they live 100 years. So every human being should expect it. Thereby, what am I trying to tell you is, in a probability, now 1,000,000 students are born, 1 or 2, that 1% club is happening. Now, what your students are fundamentally searching success, competency and capability, and creates ambiguity. This ambiguity, why is it being created? Because they are not knowing how to scale it. They are not, because they are comparing with another guy. Okay, so I am 90. Generally, 90 is good. But somebody got 95. Now I feel down. Now there is a cutoff, 96. Now I feel even 95 guy is feeling bad. For IIT, IIM, so the cutoff is some, you understand? So that kind of a thing. Now I am 90. How can I cover that top 6, that scalability? How can I do that little bit more? And they are trying in that own spirit, in that education system. No, the answer is in the, say, you lift 25 kilo weight, I lift 25 kilo weight. I can develop a more structured or nice muscles because I also follow the diet regimen and the way I drink water and do other things. That's the reason why we have an instructor there who says don't drink water, don't gulp water, don't drink lot of water, drink water in a specific way. Like that, there is a regimen. Only when you follow all those tips, 25 kgs, 30 kgs, you will pump iron and then you will develop a very structured muscle. That 6% is not in the lifting weights, it's in the diet and water.
Right.
In the same fashion, if you are 90 and 96 you want to scale, that 6% is not there in you studying harder or you studying more. It's in enhancing your ability to process, grasp and internalize what you are studying and apply it even better, a free mind. So mind training is more important. Then there is no ambiguity. What you are chasing,
right,
it also brings ambiguity, it also brings aspiration. Where there is aspiration, there is no ambiguity. For example, a teenage boy likes a girl. There is no ambiguity in him.
Right.
Will I get the girl? He will go blind and he will chase the girl. But when an adult wants to do something, I want it. I want to do something. And then I have ambiguity. How can I do it? How will I do it? Where will I do it? If there is pure ambition, then there is no ambiguity. Enthusiasm, there is no ambiguity. So students should first develop a method or a regimen. They should work on a regimen where they continuously expand cognition.
Okay.
And work it out in their structured environment of education. When that happens, it's like diet and exercise, like cognition and education will result in a successful career.
Correct. This is wonderful, Guruji. Actually, even I wanted exactly what you told towards the end. That was what my next follow-up question was, because there are many students who actually are confused in terms of where should I figure it out, what should I work as for building my own capability. It is like they know that I need to build capability, but then it comes to being specific about like which is the area that I need to work on. So that is where the confusion all boils down to, and many a times they do not find that source to identify, okay, how can I do. Mind training is important, but then what kind of a mind training, and that I should look for. And would you give some suggestions, like in terms of like what kind of a mind training should a student aim for?
See, I'll just extend the example that I was trying to give, the gym example. Even successful, people, bodybuilders, they also have coaches to build their body. In the same fashion, you have to understand one thing. You already have the six pack, you have a very perfect body, but still you continue to have this trainer who will train you continuously, who may not have a six pack, but he will train you. That happens. For example, successful cricket players, Kohli and all, they still have a coach, right? The same fashion. What am I trying to tell you is, a mind that has limitations or challenges cannot introspect on its own self. You can't scrutinize your own self. For that, what you need is an external help, but not again conditioned and a structured system. Now, what is happening? Student will say, I want to grow, how to do mind training. They seek advice from whom? Is the question. Specifically, then psychologists come in. Psychologists talk about things that are almost impractical, and or they talk about medicines, which is very wrong actually. Right. The truth is, cognitive sciences are not developed to such an extent that these kind of things are available. But the ancient systems of Srividya and other higher formats of supramental processes have developed, because I always say this, thousands of years ago, people looted one temple 18 times and still there was wealth remaining. Am I clear with you? That much wealth India created. We were a country where diamonds were sold on streets. So what kind of a country with an abundance, okay, would sell diamonds on streets? And imagine the level of abundance. Now that is possible through every human being, that is what they say, Ramarajya, all that. Ramarajya is not about 100% consensus. It's also about every human being striving hard to work to enhance their own cognitive self. Fundamentally, I'll tell you one thing. There is a guy who is having 100 crores. Is he rich? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, there is a guy who has 200 crores. There is a guy who has 300 crores. There is a guy who has 1,000 crores. There is a guy who has 10, 15, 20, 30 lakh crores. Yeah. Now, what about that? Now, I am trying to tell you one thing. If you really go to a 30 lakh crore guy and say, why are you starting a new business? Then what will he tell? It's not about money anymore. It's about, I can do it and I am doing it to figure out that I can do it. Right. Now, people who continuously work hard to that 1% club, people who try to work to enhance their cognition, how to do that? First, you need to remove your see, in business also they say, unlearning is the best way to learn.
Right.
People who continuously are ready to unlearn the age-old processes and ready to absorb, find out, figure out within the power within them to enhance their own self. Supramentalation or the Sanatana Sri Vidya sadhanas, they are fantastic for cognitive building and growth. 15 to 30 minutes a day, 15 minutes to 30 minutes a day, if you concentrate and work with yourself in supramental neurocognitive techniques, you can experience at least 10x improvement in your cognitive capabilities within just for 6 months. But this can only happen for people who are hungry to grow. The truth is, what really happens is, when you go to any success, competence, capability finding, the student is so overwhelmed with the 96 cutoff mark that stress, that 96 is continuously hitting his mind. I have to get there, I have to get there, I have to get there, or I have to get that exam, I have to get that exam, I have to get that exam. That stress is making them unaware of their own powers. So first, that supramental process, first to concentrate. That is the reason why I insist on, first I will make you stress free, and then I will improve cognition. From the day one, if you want a cognition, it won't happen. Stress free academic excellence is what I insist upon for every student. Why? Because first, whatever you are learning, first you must, it doesn't matter if you are getting 60, 70, 80%, it doesn't matter 90, 95, doesn't matter. Most important thing is, you should get those marks that you are getting, or you should understand, you should do what you're doing with first ease. Happiness, you should be happy, you should be blissful, and you should be excited. Wow, today I'm going to do complex. Today I'm going to do complex things. I'm going to learn this, I'm going to learn that. You should be excited. You should not be, wow, I have to clear the exam, and so this I have to study, and it's so hard. That stress should first go. Or else, the expectation pressure. Everybody expects you when you get 90. Everybody, when you go, everybody do well, this time get more.
Right.
That expectation pressure also, first you should, that will be there. People will always expect out of you more. But that's what, in cricketers, when you work all your life in cricket, batting, you do all your life, you do batting. By the time, 30, 25, whatever, that age you become international cricketer. You are in the stadium and people clap for you to do the same thing that you have been doing, hit the ball, and then you are pressured.
Right.
So, a successful guy is a guy who knows how to depressurize himself.
Right.
De-stress himself first. And then also continuously increase their capability and competency. So these are the steps. So how can they begin? First, by stress-free. Stress should be totally released out of them.
Right.
Next, expectation pressure should be not felt. You should depressurize yourself. You should not be having that, what if I don't clear that exam? You should have a conviction that, it's so easy, I can. Unfortunately, people who don't clear the exam are more having confidence than the people who have studied well.
Right.
You notice?
Yes.
People who don't get admission in one entrance exam after 12th, they apply for 5-6 entrance exams. There are students who have studied really hard and they have applied only for 1 or 2. And they are tensed and nervous that will I crack? And they will be the toppers.
Right.
The guy who is applying for 5, 6, 7 entrance exams, he is relaxed, he is enjoying. First, that expectation pressure. Because this guy doesn't have, why a guy who has not studied so well, but still 5 exams, and why he is not stressed naturally? We call it as, pressure.
Right.
He himself don't actually expect him to crack all the exams. Parents also don't expect. Everybody knows they are trying the luck and hitting the, So they know they are trying. So there is no expectation pressure. So they are very stress free. What I say is, a student who has studied very well is unfortunately suffering stress of studying hard, working hard, and expectation pressure.
Right.
These two if this student who has studied very well, if they don't have, at least 60% they will do better.
Wow.
Because a guy who has really worked hard, in that pressure, he's forgetting. Maybe I will forget. Maybe I will forget. Maybe I will not perform well. How will I perform? That kind of things that is the reason why they say, oh, I know everything, but I forgot that. That one thing I forgot. I knew that also. What makes you forget that one thing when you are writing a whole answer is, one of the things is this, your own personal expectation, pressure and stress. So first you should get down. That is the way.
Right. Thank you, Guruji. Guruji, there's one more thing that I would like to ask you, which is connected to this. When you said that you have to, good students who actually prepare well, they face more of a stress. So is it that when a student who is generally very good and well prepared, if they do any kind of a self-talk, that will give them more of a confidence and less of reduce that of stress?
Not really. Because I will tell you one thing. It's only 10 to 20% okay what you say to yourself. Say, example, there is a person who is scared of dogs. Now you tell him to repeat, I am not scared of dogs, 1,000,000 times. And then he goes before dog, he will instantly get scared.
Right.
Because we do not live a structured, or the mind doesn't think and act. It acts according to its own personal guidelines.
Right.
You understand? Now, then why do the psychologists say give yourself auto suggestions or talk to yourself? A guy is scared of dogs, but his age is only 6 years. Now, in the 6 years, first to 4 years, he has never encountered. Now he has encountered dogs only for 4.
Right.
So only 2 years. So now at the 4 to 6, so it's a 2 years thing. Now the mummy or the father tells 100 times, 200 times, 300 times. Now in this 2 years also he has encountered dogs only 5 times. Now after that, now the father brings the dog and says, okay, you don't touch, but I will touch. It's okay. The dogs don't bite. They are good. They are friends. They love. And the father is doing it. Father is doing it. The child is feeling, okay, I have encountered dogs 5 times. I'm scared of dogs. But then I've encountered my father and I trust my father. I've seen my father from my childhood, from zero. So I trust this guy, and this guy is so comfortable. So maybe it is, and we are a team. So environment, not just auto suggestion. Now the father tells the dog, don't worry beta, dogs don't bite, they are friends. One sentence is not going to remove that fear in that child, 4-year-old, 6-year-old child.
Right.
Imagine, scale up this to a 10th class guy who is scared of his exams. Okay, or stressed. I'm not stressed is enough. He needs an environment and continuous. And now the debt is the bad experiences the child. Now I want you, this example, scale it back to 10th class example. When I was 4, I encountered a dog and I got scared. Till 6, I got 4 encounters with dogs. 4 times I got scared. So this is only 4 debts got created, 4 experiences of negative experiences of me getting scared with the dogs. Now with a half an hour, 1 hour and 10 days experience with my father playing with the dogs can remove these 4 personal bad experiences. So the debt can be covered by the credit of the father's encountering experience and all that. Are you understanding? Then environment also is there. I love father, I love mother, mummy and papa are telling dogs are good. Moreover, now the dogs are doing something with my father, so I'm also excited about it. Luring. So there are 3 things. More bad experiences, the number of bad experiences, the number of good experiences should outweigh. Second, environment should be there. Third, gravity should be there. Some attraction should be there. Now a 10th class guy who is really stressed, or an IIM guy, IIT guy, whatever, any adult student is really stressed. Now he'll tell, I'm not stressed. But he looks around and the other students are stressed. And he looks around some other student who is a backbencher, he is not at all stressed. He doesn't relate to that person. So there is now, moreover, in my 6th class, 7th class, 8th class, I've been a consistent good performer. In my 6th, I'm a good topper, 7th topper, 8th topper, 10th also topper. But why am I still stressed? Topper, neither 90%, 80%. See, I'm in 10th. It means I've passed my LKG to 9th. I clear all my classes, right? So there is a track record of success also, na? But why do you think the 10th class guy is stressed? It's not about doubt that whether he'll clear the exam or not. It's his expectation pressure. And everybody is suffering. Environment is not there. And there is no gravity. That is the reason why these days parents say, if you clear 10th, I will buy you this. Gravity. They are trying to create gravity or attraction. But that doesn't work most of the times. Most of the time. It works sometimes, but most of the times. Environment is very important. Or else cognitive training. Because beyond your own self, a mind cannot just give an auto suggestion, talk to yourself. I'm not nervous. I will not be nervous. I will not be stressed. It's not something. It's not something that you bring on naturally. Stress is not something you work for. You work for success, stress comes naturally. You understand? You are a girl, you know. To tidy up the house, it takes a lot of effort. Untidy, it becomes so easy. So if you keep saying, my house will never get untidy, will that ever happen?
No.
That way.
Right. Guruji, a connected question which is there for every student. It is connected to self-discipline. We all talk about the discipline is very, very important, and whether it's school, whether it's parents, everybody starts telling student to be disciplined. But then I would request you to elaborate more on what exactly do we mean by self-discipline? Is it doing certain things a certain way for a multiple time without getting affected by it is self-discipline, or not giving up is self-discipline, or there is nothing of this connects to self-discipline?
None of the above. None of the above. Whatever you are trying to say, that's not self-discipline.
So what exactly is self-discipline?
See, fundamentally, every student, I am on the student side on this. Student is that unfortunate person where everybody gives them aspirations, ambitions, and guidelines which they themselves don't follow.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
There is a father who is doing average, above average, but he wants his son to clear IIT and have a great future. Only a father can understand the vision. I am a father, though I could not do it, I want my son to do it better than me. So a father can understand a father. A son can never understand a father. There is no relatability.
Right.
You understand? A son cannot, as a girl, you can understand your husband. Your husband can understand you. But remember, you getting your husband to understand you and you understanding your husband is a stress. But when you find a girl, you can easily understand her. With stress-free relationship, you know, you understand?
Right.
You either you are friend with a girl or you are not friend with a girl. You don't struggle with a girl.
Right.
But you struggle with a relationship. Why it happens? Because it's opposite forces. Now I am a son and my father is having expectation that I should have IIT here. I myself have expectation. My mother has expectation. My teacher have expectation, and everybody, they are trying to guide me. Do this way. Do this way. Do this way. I know what works for me, what not works for me. And I know I also have an ambition. First, I cannot relate to all these advices. I cannot relate. And if a boy gives you an advice on how to dress, then you are not going to listen to it.
Right.
Am I clear with you? Until otherwise, he is an expert, he has proved himself in that department and all that. You understand? Dress designers are all boys. But then, you know what? They have to prove for a period of time. Yeah, makes sense to you. But general boys, you don't like to listen with them. In the same fashion, now students do not relate to teachers, parents, or people around. That is the reason why these days parents are losing influence on the children also.
Right.
Why? Because, see, I tell my child he will not do. I ask my child to behave in such a fashion, he will not do. Why? Because we mostly, see, I as a boy, example, tell you how to dress. Then you won't even relate to.
Right.
I will give, say, you should wear big ear, whatever this is called, earrings, whatever they call it. Now, big you should have. then you will say, go to hell. And you can't weigh. I feel you should have this kind of dress, that kind of. I will give you some things. You'll feel crazy. You
Right.
don't even know. Get lost.
Right.
As a girl, you will tell. As a boy, you wear 3-piece suit every day. Something like that. I say, go to hell. That's not the way.
Right.
Ambition is different. Aspiration that you put on the opposite person is totally different.
Right.
Makes sense? So though they can't relate. Students, they look around, everybody is their level. So they can't take advices from them. That is the reason why these days we have more peer pressure and more.
Yes.
See, my friend does it, there is a probability I also do it. Because I have an influence. I like him, he likes me.
Right.
But none of the people above, the teachers, parents, or they don't really understand what I'm going through. And they are only busy advising me self-discipline, that you have to do it this way so that you will get that result.
Right.
Some people accept it and give up and just do it. And thereby they lose that interest in doing it. One day they will revolt. Some people revolt in the beginning.
Right.
Moreover, self-discipline is not about doing things in a specific way.
Okay.
Why? Because every child is not a machine. It's not a computer program. Every child is a unique life creature. We have to understand they have their own methods. Now, you cannot, for a life or a lively creature, you cannot instruct it. Because only dogs, cats are the living creatures. That is the reason why we have pets and we have wild animals. Human being is fantastic wild animal, which is domesticated in a society. That is the reason why we are all rebels in our own way, but we are all domesticated in our own way. Are you understanding?
Yes.
We are like lions and tigers that are in a circus. We all have power. We can break any relationship, any rule, any time when we are out of our mind. But we mostly don't do. Yeah? Now we are like that lion or tiger of a circus. There also, in the circus, the ringmaster should behave with a specific way. Only then the tiger will continue to be the circus tiger. He overacts, the tiger overacts. Make sense?
Yes.
In the same fashion, now we need to know how to train.
Right.
We need to know. And students don't relate to. Self-discipline is about you being in your own center. You being in your own center. That is fundamentally the definition that you should. Because self-discipline, a discipline that is designed for your own center.
Okay.
Self-discipline is not just waking up and brushing your teeth and then studying or doing stuff in the right way, this way. It's about you being aligned to your own great purpose. Now you inspire the child to be a great entrepreneur or engineer, or you inspire, the child is inspired. You don't have to tell the child to study in certain way. He will figure out a way for him to study.
Right.
Most children, in the childhood, they get fascinated about being a doctor or engineer, whatever. Now, no matter what they do, when the moment even science comes up, they're open, are very interested, and they learn. If it is backed by their intelligence also, this 1%, then what happens? They naturally gravitate towards it, and they are highly self-disciplined. Medical students, you know what? There are medical students who study for about 10, 12, 13 hours a day, consistently for 4, 5, 6 months. Consistently 6 months, just before the exams. 10 to 12, 13 hours every day they spend.
Right.
Who is teaching them self-discipline? Environment and personal goal.
Right.
Children, when they are batting for their own self-goal, self-designed goal, then they will automatically be self-disciplined.
Right.
Consistent. Now, self-discipline for parents is all about consistency. That will come when I am a medical 10th, 12th over. I am fascinated. I don't exactly know what is being a doctor, okay? But then I am interested to be a doctor. I study hard, finally clear the exam. First day I go into a medical college, they give me without first white coat and a stethoscope. First day they don't allow me inside. Okay, and the first day practicals. Normal college they will allow, but now practicals, I have to wear that coat and take a stethoscope,
Right.
which is giving me a feeling that I'm already a doctor.
Right.
And then they go first day practicals, and then what they teach, that thing they tell you, human body, what they taught. But still, you're going there with white coat and that step, you're feeling that. Over a period of time, medical colleges, the curriculum is designed in such a fashion that you slowly acquaint, in the first few days only, they show you a dead body and say you're going to operate on it. Touch
Right.
it, feel it, cut it. And what you do, whatever you do is very simple, but you do it. Slowly they build that aspiration. That I want to be a doctor and tomorrow I want to be a professional and cut people.
Right.
You know, ENT surgeon, whatever surgeons, all surgeons cut people, right?
Right.
So I want to do that. That aspiration is built. I'm a doctor. I have to clear this. And that's where I will be. And by the time you are in your first year of before exams, you're trained into, you know what, you see your seniors and you want to be like them.
Right.
And the seniors see seniors and they want to be like them. The super seniors see the real doctors working in the hospital and they want to be like them. And they are already building dreams. I will have a hospital. I will do this. I will do. By the time you complete your first year of medicine, mostly you will even decide the field at which you want to be super specialized.
Right.
Why? You build that personal aspiration. So, how to build self-discipline? When you build a self-designed goal, you will most probably be self-disciplined.
Right. Right.
You understand? Doing things in a specific way. When other people who do not relate to your mindset, when they tell you, that is where they lose influence.
Okay.
That is the reason why parents these days suffer. Why my child is not listening to me? They don't, because you have in overexcitement gave them self-discipline techniques and tips and all this self-discipline tips. In overexcitement, because a child will not understand father. A father cannot also understand the child. They forget that. They feel, I've been a child, I know, I remember. No. I've been a child, I know, I remember. I know what was, you know what was or what should have happened. But how do you make that related to me?
Right.
No, you don't. Remember one thing, great goals don't work. Your personal attractions work.
This is very, very profound, Guruji. Guruji, there's one more thing which you raised as a point also, that is parents are losing influence on their children. My question is like, what kind of a communication and at what age should parents start having with children that will help them generate an influence?
This is like asking, a boy and a girl will get married and after how many years they should, come together. How many years after marriage should a boy and a girl come together? In the same fashion, when they have a child, they should build the relationship with the child from the day one. It's not after. Remember one thing, in the first 8 years, how you relate with the child, that will decide your entire relationship with your final life also. And when your child is working, most parents say, my child, they put me in old age homes and all that these days, or they don't live with me, something like that. You most probably, the relationship that you build in the first 8 years with your child, subconsciously what the child feels. Child is not aware, but what the child is subconsciously feeling inside, that will be the relationship all through. You design your child in the first 8 years. And that's what even Western psychology accepts. That is the reason why even in Sanatan Dharma, till first 8 years, 6 years, we do not give the child away.
Right.
Even to the Gurukul. Why? Because we need to design a relationship, foster a relationship. After that, you give the child, for example, we will take Pandava, Mahabharata. Pandavas and Kauravas, they were raised till a certain age and then given to Dronacharya. They lived with Dronacharya. But still they fostered the relationship, because the first 8 years, they were absolutely, if you read the Mahabharata or any, first 8 years is very, very important. You should build all your communication systems in the first 8 years. Right. After 8 years, you don't build. It's like if you get married and after 20 years of marriage, you want to come together, it's becoming difficult. And you want to have a baby also, it's becoming difficult.
Right.
Generally, in the first 4 years or 3 years of marriage, you should, generally, that's what people say, is good. Yeah. When you get married, you have to work on your marriage from the moment you're getting married. And it's better even before you're getting married.
Right.
So, but even before you're getting married, you cannot do it consciously. So that way, in the same fashion, when should they or how should they talk? They should talk from the beginning, the attitude and how, because what is happening is, a child, when the child is born, you have to understand one thing, child is helpless. Child is helpless for everything. Now you are training a helpless guy to develop a certain mindset through your emotions, or through your behavior, through your ambitions, through your talk, through the way you relate to the child. What really happens is, there people do a lot of things. Then what happens is, all that goes into the subconscious memory, and from the 8 to 16, by the time the child is teen and 16, 13, whatever, that time the child feels independent. Because 10th class, they feel as if they see the world. Am I clear with you? That time, the subconscious mind algorithms that were built in the first 8 years, they kick in and create this hormonal rage. Technically, there are many children who are in their 16s and are absolutely self-disciplined, so-called self-disciplined, and there are many 16s who are having high emotional tantrums.
Right.
Why is that happening? The subconscious algorithms that we build in the first 8 years. How we build for the child? Because the child comes empty.
Right.
Our environment, our parenting, our stuff, everything, how you behave, all that works.
Right.
So, I felt very funny when you asked from when you should start talking to your child. It should be, remember one thing, when your child is in your tummy or womb of the mother, the child listens to the mother most of the time.
Okay.
Most of the time. And yeah, at least 20-30% of the day. Okay. And the child is 100% aware of the feelings of the mother. Happy pregnancy is very important. Or at least during the pregnancy, the mother should consciously give a direction or ambition to the child. A belief. Now, people misunderstand ambition also. So, I will give a clarity on this. Belief and conviction to the child. For example, a mother is pregnant. The mother should have that conviction, my child will be a super happy, successful person. Most mothers don't even think. Right. Let me see, after delivery, I'll think about it. During pregnancy, mother is the first conviction. Right. You understand? And mother is the first conviction. Who is the first person to tell the child, you're born to succeed these days? Teachers. Right. Society. My mother called me Chinnu Munnu. My father called me something else. My daddy called me something else. Nobody called me, or nobody said, I'm born to succeed. I'm born to be a leader. Teachers and education institutes told me, become a leader.
Right.
How will I be?
Right.
See, because I relate to my mother and my father more, right? So, parents should be the first person in the life that a child should hear. You're born to succeed. You're born to lead. Right. You're born to win. You're designed to win. You're designed to succeed. These kind of things, mother should feel while the child is, the mother is pregnant with the child. But when the child is born, from that moment, it's not ambition. You will lead. Tomorrow you will earn these many crores. It's about, you are a leader. I know.
Right.
Conviction.
Right. Guja, there's one more question which connects to the current environment that a student faces. Every student is been made to go to multiple classes and they are so pressed for time. morning school, then after coming back, they hardly have time to maybe properly sit and have lunch or say relax 5-10 minutes. But they just keep running from one class
This
to
is
another
this
class.
is one thing that is making, or that's the actual thing that's making children fail, or not be very successful in their lives. When you are a hustler without a proper understanding about why you are hustling, then don't expect leaders.
Right.
Remember one thing, all your life you are trained to run without understanding why you are running.
Yes. Right.
1% probability. So even the 1,000 fools, they throw darts to the bullseye, at least 10 will hit the bullseye, and those 10 are called winners. And then they start giving gyan that this is how success can be achieved, and if I can do it, you can do it, and all this 90, you also did it out of luck, buddy.
Right.
See, I keep telling you, for example, great achievers, okay, in my generation we'll say, okay, Bill Gates, great achiever, okay, he would not have achieved whatever he is if he is born in India. He would not have achieved whatever he achieved if he is born in Somalia.
Right.
Okay, and he is born in America also. He is born to some mother and father who, are drug addicts. Then he would not have been. He is born to a very talented mother who is already a director and stuff in IBM. My father is a very patent lawyer, big shot lawyer. His school had the supercomputer. How many children these days have schools with supercomputers? His school in 1980s, 85, 80, whatever time, had a supercomputer. School had a supercomputer. Now in 2024, Indian schools don't have a supercomputer. Forget about, yeah. So 1980s or 1990s. So he has that exposure, has the training, and he has that initial lift, everything. Again, making a movie out of it is easy. But what am I trying to tell you? Environment matters.
Right.
Environment matters. Ambition, people misunderstand. Ambition is not something figures, numbers, or ambition is you having a self-worth about your own self.
Right.
It's very important. People generally, when they run from class to class and they don't have time and they're running, they lose their self-worth. They feel, they asked me to run, I'm running.
Right.
So that's one bad thing about this Indian education system. All education systems. But generally, because the education system is so, parents here and they should tell why we are running. Make them relate. Make them relate. First, the system is like this, so we have to. But then why the system is like this? It's actually, there is a no-brainer. The system is designing, corporate jobs, designed to get corporate jobs, or jobs in particular. So you have to design your life being in a pond of frogs. You are trying to design yourself as a shark. That kind of self-worth mechanism parents should design. In a pond of frogs, you are trying to design yourself to be a shark. Work, be in the pond of frogs, but don't relate to it. Then they will not get stressed running. They are running, you want me to run, I am running. They are running every day, and 5 minutes only for lunch break they are, 5 minutes break they have, lunch break they have, and after that they have to again run, is what you are trying to question, no? How can a child not be stressed in that environment when he doesn't relate to that, and when he feels, I am running in a donkey's race, but I am a horse. I am designing my own race. Right. Then the stress of running will be there, but the emotional stress of running will not be there.
Right.
Did you connect to what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
Yeah.
Guruji, this one last question to you. Guruji, you said supramental meditations or meditations can actually help students a lot. I would like you to elaborate and tell me, like, supramental meditations, will it help students develop their cognition? And apart from developing cognition, how else it would help students?
In every way, in de-stressing themselves, in depressurizing themselves, and definitely helping in their core competency, capability, and in every way, because supramental meditations do not they are not designed, or the system is not towards to take you towards a belief. The system is designed to take you towards a fundamental belief that you are born to succeed, because you are in a race to design yourself to succeed. You and you and you. It's not about anything else.
Right.
So, a lot of self-worth. These days, students are struggling with self-worth. These days, students are really struggling with self-doubt. As I said, a student who has studied really well is nervous about whether he'll clear the exam or not, and after the exam, every time he finds he's the topper.
Right.
And you will find many students who are 95, 94, 96. Every time before exams, they are nervous.
Right.
Every time they get 90, 94, 96, and because now they feel being nervous is the way of life, being self-doubt. And these are the guys who will crack IIT, will go IIT, and then land up 2 lakh job, 3 lakh, 5 lakh jobs, 5 lakh rupees a month job. We need to create leaders.
Right.
We need to create true genius where they can enjoy life. Making money is not the goal. Making money is a part of the goal.
Right.
So they must understand that they are leaders.
Right.
The grander vision of life. So all this opens up because fundamentally supramentalization de-stresses, depressurizes the student, and then it's designed to create enormous self-worth, self-centeredness, and high self-worth while building this cognition. And the good news is, you can experience this happening within the first month.
Wow.
So within a month you can experience it, but because what you experience only that matters to the student.
Right.
What you tell, as I said, students are burdened with advices. Supramental neurocognitive meditations, they are meditations, they are not advices.
Right.
So you understand? So no advice, only experience.
Right.
Advices are the most boring thing for students.
Right.
Because all they receive is advice.
Correct.
And guidance. So supramental things are all about experiencing that excellence, academic excellence within.
So it's a good way of breaking from all advices and listening and
experience.
Experiencing your own self. That is what supramental meditations can actually give you.
Correct.
Thank you very much, Guruji. Thank
God
you.
bless you.